guys, it's your girl Jackie O. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about Foundation 101, how to find the perfect foundation, different types of foundation, how to prepare your skin for them, and just all of the questions that it's just really tough to get through when you're trying to find the right foundation. I have a pretty good method down, so I thought I would share some of my tips with you guys. Now, when you think of foundation or your base, literally like that's like laying the foundation work, the groundwork for the rest of the face. If the foundation ain't on point, you can just forget about the brows and eyes because... So no good foundation can meet its match up against bad skin prep. You always want to start off with a good moisturizer and or a primer. I have what you would consider combination skin, so I'm gonna let you in on a little tip, guys. If you have combination skin, you literally are treating two different skin types on the face. So I have my normal skin here, and then I have my oily skin in my T-zone. And you never, ever, no matter what your skin type is, ever want to skip moisturizer because you don't want to deplete your skin of what it needs. I'm just really not a huge fan of the overly mattified look, so I'm always looking for moisturizers that will kind of like balance my skin out. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Day Cream, this one, if you Google moisturizers with hyaluronic acid, this is one of the first ones that'll pop up, and it is so expensive, but it works. So unfortunately, I just gotta buy it because it works, you know? And then on the drugstore scale, it's actually kind of expensive for a drugstore product, but the Neutrogena Hydra Boost Water Gel is a really great, lightweight, featherweight moisturizer that doesn't make my skin feel like it's being clogged and like too bombarded with too much. As long as you have something on the skin that the foundation can glide on and stick to. When it comes to primers, again, you always want to address whatever your skin concerns are. So today I'm going to be using this one from Makeup Forever. It's their Step 1 Skin Base. Even though it is a mattifying primer, the natural oils in my skin still break through, so I just like using it. So I'm going to be applying that only in my T-zone because that's pretty much the only part of my face that gets oily throughout the day. I also really like the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. Although, Vampire Flow, I'm not this ashy in real life. It's the primer, I can assure you. Don't judge me. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, but you cannot tell anyone. Okay, this is just between me and you. You know those people that pile on layers and layers and layers of foundation for coverage, right? You don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, please don't do that. Here's the thing. We're looking for coverage to cover scars, sometimes rosacea, but the key to success for all of that is color correcting. I don't have too many scars. The best example I can show you is the scar here. So basically, when you're piling on foundation, you're trying to cover that one mark. And you can just take a color corrector, peach in my case, because peach cancels out dark spots on dark skin. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but that is way easy to cover than the scar itself. Any type of, not textural issues, but any type of like pigmentation, please color correct them so you don't have to pile on different product after product after product all over your face just to cover that one scar or whatever it is you're trying to cover. There's a bunch of different types of foundations out there. My advice would be to use whatever your skin concerns. It's all about what your skin type is like and what you want the desired finish to be like. If I want to have a decent amount of coverage and I want my skin to look like skin, I'm probably going to reach for a cream or stick. And cream or stick is good because a lot of liquid foundations, once you apply them, they're not really that movable. Cream is a little bit more easy to manipulate. And then liquid, again, these are better for those who just kind of don't want the makeup to move at all. All liquid foundations are not formulated equally, and that's a different conversation for a different day. Now, if I want light coverage, like I still want my skin to kind of show through, I'm not really like trying to be photographed or anything like that, I'm gonna either reach for a BB cream, a CC cream, a tinted moisturizer, or a cushion foundation because these kind of give a little bit of coverage, but it still lets the skin breathe. And then if you are just so oil slick and you don't want to take the chance of putting on more liquid on top of your skin, there's always the route of doing a powder. They come in pressed form and they also come in loose form, whatever floats your boat. I'm going to now show you guys what it looks like when a foundation is too dark and too light for you. This is the part where you hit the share button because this is a real struggle for a lot of us. and I speak with you. I'm there with you guys because it's not easy at all. I did 3 foundation swatches, and whenever a foundation is too light, it turns ashy. So that's where this tragedy comes in. Like, this is not even my winter color. Like, I would never even highlight with this because it's that light. So this is a sure sign that a foundation is way too light, especially if you take a picture. You probably know that ashy struggle. We need to investigate some things. Now, when a foundation is too dark, sometimes it's really hard to tell. Like when you're at a department store, that lighting can be tricky. General rule of thumb, when a foundation goes orange or like red, like basically too warm, it's too dark. It is too rich for your skin tone. Doesn't matter if you're light, fair, medium, or dark. If it's not your shade and it's too dark, it's going to turn orange. When it disappears into your skin tone, that's when you know we got a perfect match. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, even though I know this doesn't really apply to everyone because some people's faces don't match their bodies and vice versa. But I personally, whenever I buy a new foundation, every single time I actually swatch it on the center of my chest, because when I take a picture, I want my face and my body to match. So that's just a personal preference. Now, obviously, I know that there's exceptions and some people have significantly darker faces or significantly light. Like my face is slightly lighter, so it's kind of doable. But if your face is darker than your chest, what you can do is kind of like highlight to balance it out. But y'all, I'm a makeup artist. I'm not a magician. You know, like if your face and your body don't match, no matter what you put on, it's not going to be a match. So you just have to decide, do I want to lay out and tan my chest for a couple hours and fix that situation? Or do I just want to roll with the tones and work with whatever's going on in my face? Just do whatever you like. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, because I have that slight darkness around my mouth, it's just hereditary. A lot of African women have that. It's slightly darker around the mouth and chin area. So I color correct it so that I'm not piling on a bunch of foundation later trying to balance it out. That way my complexion will be all even. This highlighting pen is from MAC, by the way, the Prep and Prime Peach Luster. LA Girl also has a really, really, really good corrector. You just have to use it sparingly because it's super rich, super rich. Maybe too dark for a lot of folks. And then as for foundation, I'm gonna go with liquid. Liquid is my drug of choice. I just like, I don't know, there's just something about liquids. I'm gonna go with the Maybelline Fit Me. I really like the coverage of this. I like the finish, and I'm so glad that they decided to come out with a like matte version of it, because the dewy, that dewy one was a hot mess. So I put it on the back of my hand, and this is pretty much how much I use for my whole face. Even that's a little generous because I kind of like to start with a little bit of product and then build my way up. The perfect way to get the most even, consistent coverage, I like just applying it with my fingers first, because that way I can see exactly where I applied foundation and where I didn't, and it's just easier for me. This is a NYX brush that I'm going to be using. One of my other favorite foundations I love, like I would eat this brush if I could, is the Marc Jacobs The Face One brush. But today I wanted to keep this video a little more affordable. So I'm gonna be working with the next best thing. Whatever you decide to do, be it fingers or if you're a sponge girl, just honestly do whatever you feel confident in, because you don't have to use a brush for your foundation. Personally, I like to go back and forth between brushes and sponges just because I feel like the sponge kind of cleans up whatever the brush didn't get. And some people like using their hands because they like the way that the product kind of like melts into the skin. Just personal preference. As you can see, I'm patting the foundation in. I'm not really a fan of like the swipe. I just kind of feel like that doesn't give you the best amount of coverage. Anytime you want to build something up, you want to stipple. You want to press. This will do more shearing. This will do more building. I notice I don't really use a ton of foundation on my forehead. And then I realize a lot of other people on YouTube do that too. I don't really know why. Maybe because it's a smaller workspace. Well, for some of us. That was a joke, I'm sorry. So I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks with just the brush. We don't want to forget about that hairline. And what I like to do, so we don't have any line of demarcation or any like, you know, the harshness, foundation to skin, that struggle. Yeah, the sponge helps remove that. So this is my beauty blender. And for those that have never used the beauty blender, you always want to make sure it is damp. It does not perform the same when it's used dry. It's like literally, it might as well be a completely different sponge. So that's pretty much all of my tips on foundation. You can either leave, finish the rest of the face and wear the foundation as is. Some people like to set with powders. Again, that's another option for those of you guys that deal with like shine and oily skin throughout the day. But if you have dry skin, I probably would not recommend that because it's only going to like highlight the dryness in your skin. So really it's just up to you. Okay guys, so this is the final outcome after doing eyes, lips, and the whole 9 yards. Hopefully you found this foundation 101 video and all of my tips helpful. Now of course there are so many other in-depth videos on my channel where I talk about different types of foundation, choosing the right shade, and blah blah blah. All you have to do if you want to see those videos is just go on my channel homepage on the little search box and just type foundation, and everything related to foundation will pop up, and hopefully that'll offer you a little bit more guidance if you need it. So I'm gonna head out. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you are not already a part of the Jackie Aina family, please subscribe. I would love to see you back, and give this video a thumbs up. A thumbs up, yes! All right, I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.